everybody. It's Kelly from Kelly's Philippine Adventure. How's it going out there? I hope you're all doing well. We have some updates here for you and here in Philippines, and we're going to get right into this because there's a few things to cover, and I like to get this out. First thing off is we're going to talk about a possible, not guaranteed, it's a possible lowering of the quarantine here in the Philippines. Now, this is what they said. It said Governor Garcia for the province of Cebu, she had a meeting with the palace, or our White House, and they all agreed that the event that IFTF, which is the one who's in control of setting the bar for what the quarantine rules are, and they had a meeting with them to request a transition from GCQ down to MGCQ. GCQ is general community quarantine. If it's lowered, it would be I forgot what it meant. Modified general community quarantine. That's right, I get it. I always get those things mixed up. It drives me nuts. As of June 1, Cebu went, the province of the island of Cebu went to what they call from ECQ, which is enhanced community quarantine, which didn't allow you to go out unless you were going to a hospital and stuff like that. At June 1, that dropped down, so now we're in general community quarantine, which allows you to go to the store on certain days. It lets you get out of the house more often. It says so. She says now that the Cebu city is under GCQ as of June 1, they also raised the possibility of lifting the severe rules pertaining to border controls. Border crossings. Now that's important for me because I'll get back to that point right there, and also to forego some checkpoints and allowing several individuals, particularly workers and individuals for residing in the province, to do cross-border travels. It says that Governor Garcia said the capital would be preparing an executive order, or EO, to lay down guidelines needed to cross boundaries for travel, crossing from one city to the next. Meanwhile, tourism and the leisure activities and public gatherings may be allowed under MGCQ only, but subject to severe health procedures. With this, Governor Garcia said they would be meeting with the other mayors and other governors to discuss the regulations of this. So as of right now, we are under GCQ. If they lift this, they're going to be doing it if they lower the bar again for this new MGCQ modified quarantine, then they'll do that on June 12th. Now that's an important day here because June 12th is the Philippines. It's their Independence Day, so it's a big deal, and it's a really nice one to celebrate a more relaxed quarantine. And I guess they're basing this on how many people are actually sick, how many have died, how many more getting it. Now, with that, I will give you the statistics on the numbers so far as of June 8, which was yesterday. So as of yesterday, for the total amount in the whole country, we had 22,474 total cases. That's nationwide. Of those, they had 16,826 people in hospitals being treated for that right now. As of yesterday, 8 people have passed away because of COVID-19, and that brings the death toll up to 1,011 here in the Philippines. But there is good news. The good news is we have actually had 4,637 people leave the hospitals and declared healthy. 107 of those people yesterday left the hospital. So we got good news here. I mean, that's really good news for that. same with the we were talking about tourism and people coming here and going out. Now, as of May 30th, they opened up a minimum flights coming in and out of the Philippines. But here's the kicker. If you are an OFW working abroad, or if you're a Philippine national, national, then you can come home on the airlines coming in, or if you're a political leader from other countries, you can come in that way. I have not heard anything about foreigners coming in. I haven't heard anything yet. So I've looked for it, but I can't see anything as far as that for airlines. Now, locally, you can fly, even if you're a foreigner, you can fly like from this state or from this island to Bohol or Mindanao or Manila if you have to do work up there, like we had to do back in last October when we had Liam's citizenship done. So that worked out pretty good. So yeah, I don't want to take a chance of leaving the country by plane, because if you're an expat, you're allowed to leave the country. But you're not, but as of right now, they're not letting anyone come in, as far as I know. So if you have a family here, leaving the country, unless it's a dire emergency, to me, it's just not worth, leaving my wife and son and maybe not be able to get back here for who knows how long. So to me, it's just not worth taking the chance. They did have an announcement starting June 8, 2020, Trans-Asian Shipping Lines will resume its passenger services. Now that means if you wanted to go to like the Bohol or go to Mindanao or go to Manila, I guess you can do that. But the only problem with that is they have a limited, rules of who can go and who can't go. So I'm gonna give those to you. These are called LSIs, or locally stranded individuals. If you are currently staying outside your residence and was not able to come home due to the quarantine going into effect, those people can travel on the ships now. The APORs, or authorized person outside their residence. If you are either employed, enrolled with existing essential business or official function in other areas outside your residence, you can travel now. OFWs, those are overseas Filipino workers. If you were stranded or repatriated OFWs during ECQ, you are now allowed to ride the ships. The people who are not allowed are people who travel for leisure purposes. Those people, if you want to go visit family members, can't do it. Anyone below the 21 years old or older than 60 years and above, you can't go on the ships. And pregnant women. So there you go, as far as an update of the shipping, the ships that go from like here to Bohol, from here to Manila, and down to Mindanao and other islands. Immigration, let's talk about immigration. Immigration here in Mandaue, which is the next city over, is now open. So you can do your visas, you can do those kind of things. But remember a moment ago I said the crossing the borders or crossing city to city reflects on me, and the reason is that we're still under quarantine. I can't leave. I can't cross the city line. I can't cross into Mandaue to get my visa extended. And I contacted them through the Facebook. They actually have a Facebook page, the BI here. You just look it up for BI Philippines and it'll pop it right up. So I went there and asked them, hey, what do I do? You guys are open. I don't want to end up, because I don't want to end up getting fines for $20 a day or 1,000 pesos a day until you get caught up. And I don't want that to happen, because I can't leave the city. I can't leave the city and go to another city. What do I do? I sent that message yesterday and I still haven't received a message or a return response on that. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Even if it does happen, if I go to immigration up there, it's usually packed. And if they just now opened here recently, I know there's going to be a lot of people up there, and it's going to be scary. that's something I may just have and not go in with me, and I think that I'll just bathe in alcohol when I leave there, because I don't want to take a chance of picking anything up, you know, and giving it to her. So that's kind of scary. So that is the situation right now with immigration. If they do lift or lower the quarantine rules, it would be really great, because we really need to I really need to get out of this house. I have got such a bad case of cabin fever. It is unreal. And everything here at the house is going fine. We cook out, we play in the pool outside, watch movies, you know, hang out, you know, quality family time. But every now and then you got to get your family out of the house and do something outside the house. So that's what we're going to do. And the day that they do release us, we are making plans to do a video about escaping quarantine. And well, let me get something clear on that. When we are able to travel, we will not be traveling like we did before. We won't be stopping and going into grocery stores to get ice. Or we're going to make sure if we leave here, everything we have is in our van, and wherever we're going, that's where we're going to go. And we'll just stop when we get there, like our property, because I really want to get the drone up in the air. And I got some work I have to do out there. One of the fences, I guess, fell over because of a storm it went through there. We have to get that kind of stuff fixed. And Anne hasn't seen her sister in 9 months, so she's really looking forward to meeting her sister. Excuse me. Sweet tea. Yum, yum, yum. So that's going to be a good thing. But we're not going to be hanging out and doing crazy things like we used to, you know, staying in hotels and all that. We would stay with her sister, or we would stay out on our property, maybe do some camping. We have a tent and stuff. We may do some camping up there and just enjoy being out of the house. Beaches, there are so many beaches here that groups of people like you see in California on the beaches, where there's thousands of them within, you know, a quarter of a mile or whatever. That's not an issue here. The beaches are so long here, you rarely see groups of people unless they're actually in a group. And so if we go to any beaches, we will definitely be looking for beaches that are not populated, and or we may go into some places like we did a Hidden Cove beach, a few videos last summer. Check that out. We may go to some coves like that, some beaches that are not, you know, populated at all, just so we can get out of the house and do some fun things. So that's what we're going to do. I can't think of anything else. Everything here is going well. I would like to give my opinion on what's going on in my country. I don't like doing political on this channel whatsoever, so I'm just going to keep this simple as my feelings. It's really hurtful to think about the way people are being treated on these protests, and to see police officers that are brutalizing, you know, like old men and knocking them over. It's just disgusting to watch this, you know, watch it happen. And just as that is disgusting, so is watching looters and people getting violent against police officers just for doing their job. That's also disgusting. It's supposed to be a protest, people. Protest peacefully. And officers, if they are protesting peacefully, let them do it. This little photo op that the president wanted for in front of the church, that was a powder keg. And as soon as he started throwing tear gas and rubber bullets into the crowd, it was, you know, that was uncalled for a photo op. I think that was wrong. But that's my 2 cents. I just wish our country would come together, because all over the world we're becoming a laughing stock of the world, and it's embarrassing. It's saddening to see it happen. So that's my 2 cents on what's going on over there. I hope we can change that soon. I really do. We need to get past this. Okay, so back to the Philippines. Everything here in our house is doing great. Another baby Harley. Yep, baby Harley. That's a moped with a souped up exhaust pipe on it. Nothing like seeing a And when you look out the door, you see a little bitty moped going by. So it's really funny. Anyway, that is my little video for catching up here in the Philippines on our quarantine. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll answer them to the best I can. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We welcome all subscribers and comments. So yeah, I guess that's it. So yep, that's it. So I'm Kelly, and I'll see you on our next Philippine adventure. Bye-bye.